Alright, so in this video I'm going to be demoing my implementation of Tic Tac Toe in Python 3. So I have the code available in a public Git repository, so if you'd like to check it out, you may simply run git clone the URL of that repository, and a fresh copy will be downloaded to your system. So let's go into the folder we downloaded. The requirements are Python version 3.7.3, that's the most recent one at the time of this recording, and URWID version 2.0.1. That's the most recent version of the library, and it makes creating console-based interfaces with Python an absolute pleasure. You may set it up in any way that you choose, but I would recommend creating a virtual environment. So let's do that right now. Activating that virtual environment and installing it in the little sandbox we just created, such that if you try to use a different version of URWID in a different project down the road, you won't run into any conflict. So now we have a virtual environment set up, we can check out the files in this repository, and there's really only one of concern for us right now, ui.py, short for user interface.py. So if we run ui.py without giving it any arguments on the command line, it'll tell us what options we can pass it. So if we pass it the v flag, it will tell us the version, 0.0.1, I use semantic versioning. If we pass it the GUI flag, we will get this graphical version of Tic Tac Toe implemented with Tkinter. And we move by clicking on these empty buttons. So if I click there, X will move. If I click there, O will move, X will move, O will move, and X wins. Now, it is absolutely no trouble at all if O should happen to win a game, and if we should happen to have, perchance, a draw, that is not an issue either. We will be reported that. If a player tries to move in an invalid spot, the game will report that to us as well. We can reset our state by clicking the reset button, and we can quit by clicking the quit button. So that's what happens if we pass our program the GUI option, but what happens if we pass it the terminal flag? Well, now we get a console-based version of Tic Tac Toe. That's why we needed URWID. And not all consoles, not all terminals have mouse support, so here we move around with the arrow keys and move by hitting the enter button. So X now moves, O moves, X moves, O moves, and X moves, and we win. Here we use key bindings to quit and reset. So here, if I tap R, we reset, and if I tap Q, we quit. All right, thank you for checking out my code.